And now, live from the studios of WHUC, this is Real Talk, where we get you something to talk about.
Hello, and thank you for joining us on another edition of Real Talk. I'm your host, Brandon Barnett. Today's guest is new to the Hines family, bringing a wealth of knowledge and new age trends to cater to the needs of students. He is Dean of Students on the Hines Raymond campus. Dean T.J. Walker. Let's give him a warm round of applause. Welcome to Hines. Welcome to the Hines family. Dean Walker, how are you doing today? Dean?
I'm doing well.
Okay. Dean, for those who may be watching at home that may know you, can you tell us about yourself?
Yes, thanks for having me on the show. My name is Dr. T.J. Walker. I am from a small town called Prentiss, Mississippi. I graduated from Prentiss High School 2003, went to Mississippi State for undergrad, Belhaven for my master's, and my doctorate from University of Mississippi. And so I've been working in higher education I'm in my 18th year, and so it's always been a pleasure and an honor, and I feel like it's my purpose and passion to be working with students in higher education.
How did your journey lead to you becoming Dean of Students here at Hines?
Well, professionally, I started out at Mississippi State after I graduated with my undergrad degree. I started out as an admissions counselor. And as an admissions counselor, I was recruiting students from the Mississippi Delta and also Jackson Public Schools. And so that was my introduction into higher education as a practice. And then shortly after that, I transitioned and worked for a nonprofit organization called the Woodward Hines Education Foundation, where we assisted students with planning and preparing for college with FAFSA, which is the Federal Financial Aid Application, ACT Prep. Students were also just trying to navigate their decisions about college. And then immediately after that, I started working at another community college in Mississippi, serving in a similar role, Dean of Student Services. And so after several stops professionally, I was granted the opportunity to come back to a community college and work in student services again. And so I feel like this is where I'm supposed to be. It definitely feels like home. It's only been a month and a few days, but it definitely feels really good to be back in student services.
What experience from your own college years shaped the way you approached this role?
Oh man, as I mentioned, I am from Prentiss, Mississippi, which is really small. And so for students out there who are from small towns, rural towns, first generation student, low income, and so my knowledge base as it related to college was very small. Not that my parents didn't provide opportunities for me, but just access to information was limited. And so as I think about my personal journey with college and the things I didn't know and the processes I didn't understand and the offices that didn't make sense to me when I was a student, I think about those moments and those situations when I'm supporting students or making decisions about policies and practices and procedures as we help students once they get to college here at Hines to make it through and graduate. And so my personal and lived experiences play a major role in how I operate professionally.
What role do you believe a Dean of Students should play in shaping campus culture?
I think the Dean of Students role is pivotal in shaping the student experience, establishing what we call a sense of belonging. I think students who develop a sense of belonging while they're in college tend to be more successful because they find their place, they find their community. They're less likely to get into conduct situations because they have a purpose. I think when students don't have that sense of belonging or don't have that sense of purpose, they get creative. And sometimes that creativity is dangerous or against policies or conduct policies. And so I think finding that place and finding your purpose and getting involved is super, super important. And so as the Dean of Students, making sure that we can get students plugged in, making sure we can create opportunities for engagement, meaningful engagement, not just stuff that looks good on social media, but meaningful opportunities for engagement is super important for student success.
We are going to take a quick break, And when we come back, more on student involvement on Hines Raymond's campus. Stay tuned.
Real Talk will be right back after this.
Greetings, wonderful students of Hines Community College, Utica campus. I'm Delisha Banks, a proud multimedia journalist and reporter here at WJTV 12 News. The Radio and Television Production Broadcasting Technology program at Hines in Utica has prepared me for such a time as this. It's why I'm able to stand here today and talk to you. So if you would like to be like me someday, reporting the news and being a voice for the voiceless, make the right decision and choose Hines in Utica and choose the Radio and Television Production and Broadcasting Technology program.
When it comes to different topics around the Hines community, Real Talk is the answer.
The alumni who have graduated from the program.
A lot of that is them getting to know me.
This is the show that talks about lifestyle, culture, fashion, art, and having you in the know of what's going on across the Utica campus and the entire community college of Hines. Be sure to watch Real Talk exclusively on Hines' very own WHUC.
And now, Real Talk continues.
Welcome back to Real Talk. I am your host, Brandon Barnett. For those who are just joining us, we have Dean of Students for the Hines Raymond campus, Dean T.J. Walker. Dean T.J. Walker, you have already made your presence known to many from your social media account, showcasing what is available to students on campus. How do you feel that social media plays a big role in student involvement?
Oh man, I think social media is a platform that can be really, really useful. It can be a tool for us to reach students. As we know, as administrators and faculty members, staff members, we send out emails or we even send out text messages to nudge students to act or show up for the events. But we also know that all of us are attached to our cell phones. And so social media is a gateway to access students, to share information, but also have fun. Being in college can be a fun experience, and even for those of us in a role like Dean of Students, we can still have fun and engage with students. And so just thinking about a vehicle that everyone is already using to get information, to learn things, to learn the new trends and dances and things like that, I think it makes complete sense to use social media as a gateway to engage with students. And so I've had success using social media in past experiences. I've really enjoyed being able to connect with students through social media. And so it's something that I feel like as long as it works, I'm going to continue to do it until y'all tell me I'm lame. So.
We all know that Hines Community College enrollment has grown to 11%, reaching numbers that hasn't been seen since pre-COVID days. How does this increase benefit you?
Oh man, I think it gives us just more students to engage with. It causes us to reimagine how we provide opportunities for involvement and engagement, because if we have more students, that's going to be more money we have to spend on food or more space that we need for different activities. So I think it causes us in leadership to rethink how we operate, but I think it's a good problem. And the fact that we have more students interested in attending our institution is a testament to the hard work that everyone is doing in recruitment, in admissions and records and financial aid, but then also as you think about when students do get to our college, from housing to all the student services that we have, we're apparently attractive to students. And so we want to make sure that attraction remains, so they not only show up at the door, but that they stay there and graduate.
How do you support first-generation or non-traditional college students who may need extra guidance?
Yeah, personally, as I mentioned earlier, my story, if you think about all the boxes you can check on narratives about students with challenges as it relates to college, I was first generation, I was rural, small town student, low income, high school, limited resources in my high school. And so that perspective or that student that has that story is important to me. They hold a special place in my heart. And so I think about my own personal experiences when I'm thinking about those students. And so as we're thinking about the resources and programs and activities and the needs of our students, I always think about the individual student who may have a very specific need or a very specific story. And so first-gen students are super important to me. And there's actually some national programs out there. One specifically is called First Gen Forward, that I had the privilege of being involved with at Mississippi State. And so I would love for opportunities like that to be brought to Hinds Community College. Not making any promises on that, but there are resources out there nationally that we could tap into to better serve our first-generation students.
Where would you like to see the students' experience on the Rain campus grow in the next few years?
How would I like to see it grow? I would like to see more student participation. You know, I've only been here a month and a half, basically. And so it's important for me to start tracking engagement, tracking attendance, to see who's showing up, who's not showing up, and why they're not showing up. And so, you know, our institution does research on student satisfaction. And so it's going to be important for me to gauge, what do students care about? What matters to them, what events matter, what programs matter, and if they're not showing up, what type of student is not showing up? And so there are ways to dig into the data. You know, I'm not a super big data person, but data is important and it informs how we operate. And so I would love to just gauge where we are with student engagement and participation, and based on that evidence that we have, determine which way we need to go forward.
How do you keep yourself motivated and inspired in a role that's so people-focused?
Well, if you haven't noticed, I like to talk. And so I'm an extrovert. If you're familiar with personality types, I enjoy engagement, period. And I probably said the word engagement 20 times this morning, if not 40. And so I naturally enjoy engaging with people, but I naturally enjoy engaging with students because, you know, I've told you my story. I see, you know, TJ Walkers all over campus every day. And so just naturally, I enjoy it. I feel like it's what I'm supposed to be doing. I feel like it's, you know, my God-given talent to engage with people and connect with people. And so while this is a profession and, you know, I earn a check doing this work, I still feel like it's something I can naturally do and I enjoy it.
Lastly, are there any upcoming events that you have planned that students can look forward to soon?
Yeah, our student recreation team at the Raymond campus has a full suite of activities planned out. And so I would encourage all of our viewers to check out the Hinds Recreation team on Instagram. Follow us there to see what's happening, but also to follow my account on Instagram, Dean Walker HCC. But the biggest production that we have coming up is going to be homecoming. And so homecoming week, there'll be a lot of activities going on, but also we have made interest meetings and all the things dealing with the homecoming court. So that's going to be the biggest production that's actually starting on that next week. So, yeah.
We would like to thank Dean TJ Walker for taking time out of his busy schedule to discuss his new role at Hinds and the different ways he is looking to engage students throughout their college journey. Remember to like our Facebook page and radio and television production. Follow us on Instagram at hindscc.radio and TV. And subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay up to date with all news happening around Hinds. You are watching Real Talk. Until next time.